Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, a major injury for a top AEW star on Dynamite.
A devastating injury for AEW's newest signing.
We're going to cover the title changes from this week's episode of Dynamite, including the first ever TBS champion being crowned.
And a shoot season is back on yet again between CM Punk and MJF. I'm Adam Wilborn.
Shoot season never dies, baby.
And this is the news.
Second news video of the day. How lucky are the great people out there?
You're lucky.
We're lucky to have them as well. We're going to kick things off talking about last night's episode of Dynamite. We've done 2 videos today. Lots of the WWE releases. Split that up. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. We did it earlier. Now we're here with Dynamite stuff. All right. Rey Fénix has broken his arm.
Oh man,
That's crap.
horrible.
That's crap. So it went down in the night's main event on Dynamite. It was, of course, the Lucha Brothers defending their tag team titles against Jurassic Express's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Fénix was chokeslammed through a table to the outside by Luchasaurus. Unfortunately, it seems to have gone wrong because he suffered a broken arm. You can see it on TV. He's being tended to by Doc Samson and maybe a couple of others while the rest of the match is playing out. Jurassic Express went on to win. Penta, of course, took the finish. Fénix was out of it. Jungle Boy got the win. So the Jurassic Express, good moment for them, I guess. They've got their first titles. It should have been this big celebratory moment, but it was somewhat undermined by this injury, which is just horrendous, man. Like a broken arm, that's nothing to mess with. At least it's not something that's career-threatening, you know, like an ACL problem, but it still sucks because Rey Fénix is awesome. But Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer / Figure 4 Online came through with some details afterwards, confirming it was a broken arm and that Fénix was on his way to the hospital. So all the best to him in his recovery. Just a sucky situation. Him and Penta were tag team champions for 122 days. I think that's the number I read on Cage Match this morning. They're a great team, of course. He's a fantastic wrestler and we wish him the best.
Yeah, just absolutely devastating. A hideous injury. I was watching the match and the spot happens, he goes through the table, and Luchasaurus sells. I think he sells his arm as well. And I, for a split second, thought, oh, I hope he's all right there. He's really gone for the sell. And then suddenly you see that the doctors are like, I'm sure Luchasaurus is fine. We need to check on that other guy. And then you watch it back, or as I did, I went, what happened there? Looked on Twitter and then went, oh God, because I realised that I really shouldn't have missed it the first time. It is horrific, this injury. As you said, not an injury you would wish on anyone. The only saving grace for a big flippy guy like Rey Fénix is it's not leg related. That is really,
he can still do flips, he's fine.
Yeah, it's really scraping the barrel for taking some solace out of all this. Obviously, we wish him well in his recovery. No blame whatsoever, of course, placed on Luchasaurus.
Accidents happen,
It was just a freak accident. We wish him well, and congratulations to Jurassic Express, despite the fact that it's tinged with everything that was, happened. Was meant to happen. We assume the title change.
Yes, it was. Sorry, Alvarez confirmed that this was the planned finish in an article uploaded to.
We will talk about the title stuff in a second, by the way. Instead, we've got to talk about another injury that happened on AEW.
What a cheery day this is!
Yes, it wasn't on Dynamite, but it did happen last night in the Rampage tapings. If you watch Dynamite, you know that Adam Cole challenged the newest signing to AEW, Jake Atlas, to a match, and during that match, Jake Atlas injured his knee, springboarding into the ring during the match. It was reported by Brian Alvarez, a Figure 4 Online, the Wrestling Observer, that he did something to his knee, springboarding into the ring to eat a super kick. He was clearly favouring the knee throughout the rest of the match, so much so that the finish of the match, which was supposedly meant to end via Panama Sunrise, had to be altered because he just couldn't do it. And if you are going to go and try and take a Panama Sunrise, you're going to need both legs to be working underneath you. It ended via knee bar instead. He's been scheduled for an MRI. Now, Alvarez did know that it is possible he might be okay. You know, we are just working on visual. Always looked like he's done something to his knee there. I hate knee stuff, whether it be in football, wrestling, MMA. It goes through me. And just as we did with Rey Fénix, just awful timing this. He literally, we reported it, yesterday?
Yeah, literally yesterday.
Just signed with AEW. Obviously, they will take care of him, but we wish him well in his recovery. And fingers crossed, he's maybe tweaked it rather than done something with the ACLs and the MCLs and all the stuff in the knee. And no blame placed on Adam Cole. Again, just another devastating freak accident.
Yeah, total accident. This is so cruel. Ugh. It's so cruel for the guy. I mean, the WWE run doesn't work out, and that had been his dream all his life. And he gets released, and he announces he has to take some time off to deal with some, looking after his mental health.
Look after yourself.
Look after
first
yourself.
And foremost.
He comes back in. He has a really fun squash with Serpentico on Dark Elevation. It's a hoot of a match. It's like 2 minutes. Check out.
Best finisher in wrestling, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the cartwheel DDT thing. It's so awesome. Gets booked in this. I mean, I'm sure it's still a good match with Adam Cole, but when it's announced on Dynamite, you're like, oh, that's awesome. What a great way to introduce yourself. And then this happens. So obviously we hope that, he gets the MRI done and either it's totally fine or he can return in a few weeks or whatever. But knee stuff is often longer term. Certainly hope that's not the case. Best wishes to Jake Atlas, a guy who I've never heard anything but great things about from people in the wrestling industry. Love him as a performer. It sucks.
Yeah.
It just sucks. It really sucks.
Let's cheer ourselves up with talk about titles instead.
Oh yeah, I've just realised that I gave away my third story in the first one with the title changes. But yeah, Lucha Brothers lost the tag team titles to Jurassic Express. I mean, we've already covered it.
More than deserved for someone like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, we should say.
Good for those guys. I like them. It's a shame that it kind of has the injury overshadowing it, but it's neither of their fault. It's just kind of sucks that happened in this match, right? But it was cool to see, the gathering of 4 million different tag teams on the stage after the match to go,
2.0 in particular.
Hey, we're coming for you. And Chris Jericho is sitting in a chair. Malachi Black is brooding.
Chris Jericho's every person when they see themselves on camera in a wrestling show. Just like that.
Hey, boys! Congratulations, Jurassic Express. The first TBS champion has been crowned. It was Jade Cargill versus Ruby Soho. Jade Cargill's the champion. The match had some interference from Mercedes Martinez, who came down and was like, hey, kick your ass, Ruby Soho. But Thunder Rosa came out and took care of her pretty quickly. That match is going to rule, by the way. Thunder Rosa and Ruby Soho. That's awesome. Mercedes Martinez. That's awesome. Getting confused. But yeah, Jade took the victory. Smart Mark Sterling got sent away from ringside. He was causing a ruckus on the apron. That led to a distraction-based advantage for Jade, who in the end put Ruby away with an avalanche second rope version of her jaded finisher. A lot of people picked Jade to win the tournament, including one particular sage that I know quite well.
Yeah. I mean, I've never got a prediction wrong.
Not once.
100% so far for 2022.
I can't recall.
As well. Called this as soon as the tournament was announced. I thought she'd be the perfect person to win it. Granted, she is still green. The match wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
Yep.
Nevertheless,
fair.
I think it's the right decision. I don't think, because I've seen some people doing these takes online, I don't think this is a make good for Tony Khan's idiotic Twitter thing on New Year's Eve. I think this was going to be the case all along. Let's not overshadow it with that. Congratulations to Jade Cargill. Also, just a lovely shot of her on social media celebrating with the title and presumably her child on the ramp. So congratulations to her. Well deserved. Very exciting to see where they go next. 2 heel champions on the women's side of things, so that always makes things very tasty. Yeah,
very tasty indeed. Congratulations to Jade. She's a ground-up AEW wrestler as well. She had her first ever match with this company, the Shaq match, of course, last year, which was so much fun. I'm looking forward to following her growth as it continues and following her development and looking to see how her career turns out, because she's got some gifts that a lot of people don't have.
Absolutely.
Execution of certain moves like the pump kick just look absolutely devastating. She's got presence, she's got star power, and the rest of the stuff that people criticize her for, quite loudly at times, she can work on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm fine with this. I like this.
And another women's title match coming this weekend at Battle of the Belts, of course.
Absolutely. Riho and Britt Baker on
Ambassador,
Rampage.
You are spoiling us.
Tag match on Rampage as well with Riho and Ruby against Britt and Jamie, man. Serena Deeb cut a great promo last night. Pretty good start for the women's division in the AEW this year. Pretty good start.
And also, we should probably talk about the opening match from Dynamite as well.
That was alright, wasn't it? Yeah. Danielson versus... If you ask me, Danielson versus Page 2, probably about 3 stars. It was pretty good. Hangman Page defeating Bryan Danielson to retain the AEW World title in another fantastic match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Blood.
Lot of blood, yeah.
Blood. If you like blood, because I've got a match for you half the length for the first one.
Yeah, I think it's the right decision. I preferred the first one, probably.
Slight preference for the first one, me too.
But I certainly wasn't there going, oh, yeah. Here we go again.
Hey.
A great story, and the right, like you say, in terms of being half the length, I didn't feel like they went, right, let's just take the first match.
It was more intense, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was more heated.
They've learned from what happened last time.
Exactly. But if you want my in-depth thoughts on that match, check out the AEW Ups and Downs article on the website. It'll be there by the time this video goes up. I'll probably write like 2,000 words on it.
Right, let's conclude by talking about the real star of AEW Dynamite, my best friend Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
I thought you were going to say Sean Spears. He's the real star.
This is the Sean Spears Appreciation Society right
Carrot.
here. What a guy. But yeah, let's talk about MJF, because he lost, I think, his first ever match.
And it doesn't even really count.
It doesn't. It's not. He's still in my book forever undefeated because it was.
It's like Chael Sonnen.
John Moxley beat him. Well, he beat him with a legal move. Chris Jericho beat him. Well, last night, was that our first ever DQ finish?
There have been a few bits and pieces here and there, but like nothing.
First main proper.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. He lost. He lost in a match against Sean Dean, but that doesn't tell you the half of it, because he lost because he got bloody screwed by that git CM Punk, and that led to another shoot season war of words between the two. They'd been talking about Roddy Piper, the two of them, and MJF said, surprised you, CM Punk, compare yourself to Roddy Piper, because unlike you, Piper was able to main event a WrestleMania. Oh, got him! And he teased his future MJF, saying, look, hey, this company doesn't respect me enough. Maybe I'll go over there and main event a WrestleMania. And yeah, it kind of walked into a bit of a trap there, because Punk followed up with scorched earth. He said, if you think the grass is much greener on the other side, be my guest. Go ahead, leave, main event night 4 of a buy one, get one free extravaganza, and then get released faster than you last in the sack. When you come back, I'll still be here, and that ass kicking will be waiting for you. I'd give these two the entire 2 hours of Dynamite to go back and forth, because I love watching stuff like this.
There's a great segment, the whole package, from the deliberate DQ to the promo and the barbs. Look, the WWE shots are what they are. The people who don't like them are going to not like them, and the people who love them are going to love them. I love them. I think they're fun. And honestly, I wish WWE took a few more back and forth.
Yeah, I
like this stuff. It's fun.
When Edge is there talking to Miz about it, you can't sit there and say, oh, I see, AEW putting WWE in their mouths, blah, 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 rent-free bollocks, right? And then be like, oh, Edge got him. It's like, well, either you like both or you dislike both. You can't say, oh, this is good and this is bad.
Well, that's bias. That's what that is. That's literally bias. It's okay when one side does it, but not the other. I think it's fun when everyone does it. I think it rules, and this was great.
Look, I'm very excited, and it does feel like they're edging closer to the match between Punk and MJF. But for something that I was terrified they were going to burn through and maybe even put the match on this show, for example, last night, my God, they've taken the time and really got the juice out of this fruit.
They really have. It's a juicy ass fruit as well. It's like a bean.
And on that note, I'm going to wrap this up. We did some Twitter questions earlier, so if you want to hear them, go and check out our other news video. We talked all about the WWE releases, of course. Let us know your thoughts on Andy Murray's bean and everything we've discussed in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from. For daily wrestling podcasts, myself and the Dandy Boys will have, hopefully by the time this goes out, reviewed AEW Dynamite, and no doubt we'll be discussing those WWE releases in more detail. Plus, you can let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there, follow both of us. You can follow Andy Murray at...
Hey, you can follow me at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for, hey, what's your favourite kitchen appliance? Is it a pogo stick?
What is going on?
Remember that one?
It's been a really busy news day. I do apologise for this one. You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray and his bean. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.
Piss off.